Origin Rex, and this is: which Xenos does the Imperium tolerate? Which Xenos race, I'm guessing. Warhammer 40k lore by the channel Major Kill. Although the Imperium seems to have a very harsh approach to dealing with aliens, there are some that are tolerated or even relied on by mankind. Mechanicus, I'm pretty sure they are considered Xenos, right? They're not, I don't know. The Mechanicus would be there. Craftworld Eldars. I know they were one of the reason why Gulliman came back, right? They were involved there, so probably. That's it. I have nothing else, but that's it. Because no way in hell Orc can be. Orc is no one's friend. Orc just want to punch you in the face, right? Necrons, why would they be? No way in hell with that one either. Drukaris, they would just do unspeakable things to you that you would go to counselor, so that's not gonna happen. Tau, I don't think Tau. I don't know, maybe Tau. I don't know. Let's see. I love Major Kill, right? He's great at explaining things. Obviously, Lutin is like your top grade Warhammer explainer, right? Major Kill is just more like a, having some joke parody here and there, and way of explaining, which is fun. So let's watch it.
G'day guys and gal. We all know that the Imperium is incredibly racist and xenophobic. Unlike our world, however, they have a pretty bloody excuse for being like that. Millennium of oppression and death at the hands of aliens during the Age of Strife, combined with the fact that orcs, Dark Elder, and Tyranids are a thing, does make being an overt racist in Warhammer a bit of a vibe. I mean, there's a ton of in-lore Imperial quotes like, hate the Xenos like you'd hate the infidel. Do not ask why kill the alien, ask why not. And he who allows the alien to live shares its crime of existence. The point I'm trying to make is that there seems to be a very low bar of tolerance for these non-human organisms. So it might come as quite a shocker that the Imperium still tolerates, shelters, and even relies on various Xenos. Many of these aliens—
that already means that Imperium is losing somewhat, right? If Imperium's strong take is like no Xenos allowed and yet they tolerate some, which clearly means that they need these Xenos, otherwise they wouldn't be tolerating them, that implies already that they are not the top of the world. They are kind of losing it. I guess they're not going to see it that way.
Have since perished because all it takes is one uppity bigoted inquisitor with a big red button to make them go kaput, but there is still a number that exists today. Also, shout out to Ryan for winning the Schmalgen car canvas auction, which is now ended. I'm going to leave up the option to buy the smaller canvas version for another week, so if you want to pick that up before it's gone forever, then now's your chance. All proceeds are going to go to the original artist Nicholas. Another fun fact, my birthday is in 4 days. 14th of September, which— yes, I know it means I am the spawn of a drunken New Year's evening. Despite this being the second birthday in a row that I'll spend in lockdown, we can still have a bit of fun. So I'll be doing a birthday stream where I'll be playing 21. The unreleased pre-alpha of the upcoming Warhammer Fantasy Bannerlord mod, which looks—
wait a minute, was there a lockdown in September 21 in Australia? Wait a minute, was there one here? I don't think there was a lockdown here, right? Or maybe there was. It kind of got lifted around that time. I don't know. The past 2 years looks like such a long time. It's hard to take, keep track of. 2 years feels so big.
It's incredible. The Mad Lads even figured out how to add magic to the game. But yeah, beers, birthday, and Bannerlord seems like a pretty fucking sweet way to turn 23. Today we'll talk about each of the Xeno factions that have been aligned with the Imperium at some point, focusing on their interaction with mankind and why the usually hateful humanity tolerated them. We'll also include species that are extinct or no longer friends with the Imperium, but we won't be including abhumans such as squats or those weird furry people that should just not exist in the slightest. Let's get into it. The first Xeno that the Imperium is chill with, mainly because they're just so damn cute, is the Jokaro, who are these genius orangutans that can forge master-crafted weapons from very little material. Imagine Tony Stark in a cave full of scraps, except that he's a hairy ginger and was dropped as a child. They cannot speak and do not—
what the fuck? Where did this come from? Okay. I knew that there were many races than the main races that we heard of, but I don't know, a race that could just take any crap and make it into a master-crafted weapon. Why nobody talks about this much, right? I mean, I've by now reacted to like what, close to like 50 or 100, I don't even know. But it's been a year since I've been reacting to Warhammer videos, right? I've never come across some shit like this.
seemingly respond to direct orders. They just kind of suss out the situation and will make weapons and gadgets as needed. It's not uncommon to find a Jacaro in an Inquisitor's retinue. They will be constantly tinkering with shit. Sometimes they'll modify some armor to make it look cooler, and then sometimes they'll modify a ring to make it capable of firing mini nukes. You really just don't know what you're going to get with these primates. As they were created by the Old Ones during the War in Heaven as a sort of loyal field mechanic, they are engineered to be loyal to creations of the Old Ones. As humanity is a spawn of the Old Ones, pretty major kill, that's heresy. Fuck off, Timmy! Your existence is heresy. As humanity is a spawn of the Old Ones, it makes sense that the Jacaro would be pretty chill about lending us a helping hand here and there.
Humanity is a spawn of Old Ones? Wait a minute, did I miss something somewhere? I don't know. But seriously, these creatures were made by the Old Ones, kind of tracks, since they made also orcs who can will things into just will things into imagination. Can literally scrap together a wood or something with a tape, and it can become a gun if they believe it, right? And look at the fucking Eldars with their web-based and shit. So it kind of makes sense.
I cannot emphasize enough how awesome the technology that these guys can create is. The starships, weaponry, and artifacts they can create on the fly often genuinely shit on the best stuff the Elder or even the Necrons have. Probably easy to see why the Imperium is so willing to tolerate them. The only reason why they only seem to be hanging out with the Inquisitors is the fact that they're incredibly difficult to capture, even more difficult to contain, and almost impossible to enlist the direct aid of. Like, it's common for them to pop in, modify your shit for a laugh, then leave, but to actually have them follow.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, are they tolerating them or did they enslave them? Because it's not the same as tolerating if you can enslave a certain people and then just basically use them as your tools to create more weapons. But it makes sense since they can't capture them because it's so hard. So it's not much of tolerate at that point, is it?
Follow you and serve you out of their own free will is not common at all. This next Xeno is incredibly niche and has barely been mentioned at all in the lore, which is a fucking good thing I'm here then, eh? The Biovore. This Xeno race used to be used as sex slaves or some shit by the Uvrath, who were similar to those orb things from Astartes. Due to their years of having their brains controlled and kind of damaged by their oppressive Xeno overlords, by the time mankind clapped most of the Uvrath's cheeks and inadvertently liberated the Biovore were little more than sentient cows. Now, we do give a lot of shit to the Inquisition for being massive dicks, but credit where credit is due. They saw the Biovores and they were like, give me that space bovine titty milk, and they declared the Biovores as a protected species. In the current setting, the Biovores work as mercenaries for the Imperium around the Calixis sector. By mercenary, I basically mean that they just let guardsmen suckle in their teats and in return they get to live.
No, I'm not accepting any of this shit. This is comic, man. First of all, I saw that like, okay, what is this? Some kind of a milk, a human transformation? But literally is a cow, even the face. Look at that.
This next Xeno will look familiar. No, that is not a fucking Jawa from Star Wars. That is a Watcher in the Dark. Out of all the Xenos that work with the Imperium, these guys are by far the most powerful and unsettling. They seem to have some kind of fourth dimensional perspective of the universe, and they're able to experience the past, present, and future simultaneously. Like they straight up knew about the Horus Heresy in detail thousands of years before it would occur, giving them foresight well beyond that of even the Emperor. If anything, it kind of proves my point that the Lion and the Dark Angels are the best legion in the galaxy if they're the ones who have been exclusively guided.
Okay, first of all, I'm a very scientific guy, so when I heard, they are like very they don't have nothing to do with fourth dimension. If they did, they would be the dominating race, because that's how dominating a next dimension can be, right? Imagine anything two-dimensional, we are three-dimensional, we can easily dominate that because we have so much access that they can't even comprehend. So I understand that if you have access to fourth dimension, time would be at your fingertips, right? You can manipulate time for, future, past, all would be just, I guess what you interpreted at that point. You can experience all of that simultaneously. I understand that. But no way these creatures have access to fourth dimension, because they would be the dominating race. But then again, whoever made Warhammer probably didn't go with scientific explanations. It could be, I don't know.
By some omnipresent cloaked looking gods. When the Lion was around, these dudes would tell him about shit going down on Caliban and that he should sort it out, and they often hang out with other important Dark Angels in the current setting. When the Changeling, one of the most powerful demons in existence, was running through the rock on a quest to completely fuck over the Dark Angels, he stopped and completely shat himself when he saw a Watcher in the dark. The scene was actually quite chilling. To the demon, the Watcher appeared like some kind of void, like a blank, but Watchers aren't blanks as they can communicate psychically. Either way, the Changeling ran in the other direction and they did not look back. It was the Watchers who put the Lion into a coma, and it will be the Watchers who wake him up when the time is right. Moral of the story is don't fuck with the Watchers. They've been here since the dawn of time and probably aren't even from this universe.
What the
Biovore
fuck?
aren't the only Xeno mercenary the Imperium employs. They also have the crew.
So Watchers are that fucking badass. They are that level of powerful that even, holy shit, didn't see that coming. Again, why are nobody talking about that? This is the first video I'm hearing of any of these races.
Unlike the lactating appeal of the Biovores, the Kroot are powerful warriors, bigger, faster and stronger than humans. They can also consume flesh to harvest the DNA within.
Look at those limbs. Of course they're faster.
Enough powerful foes, a Kroot's physical form will evolve into something more powerful. If a Kroot eats enough orcs, they'll become Larry Wheels. If they eat enough flying creatures, they'll grow wings. And if they eat enough priests, they'll start molesting children. The Kroot are happy to be mercenaries as it means they get to see more of the galaxy, hence get to feast on a wider variety of species. Usually they work with the Tau, as the Tau are quite happy to hang out with other Xenos, but they won't turn down an offer from the Imperium. I used to think the Kroot were like kinda cute and funny, but then I read a short story about them ambushing some Eldar Rangers, and holy fuck, it was horrifying. Some Eldar Ranger chick watches as her sister is violently consumed and eaten alive before she too is torn to shreds. Don't fuck with the Kroot. Another Xeno mercenary that the Imperium do work with, but only on rare occasions, are the Demiurge, who were supposed to replace the Squats, but then the Squats remain canon, so the Demiurge had to kind of become their own thing. Now they just look like the satanic spawn of a midget and a smurf. The Demiurge are a spacefaring race who preferred trading goods over shooting laser beams. Pew. In saying that though, they can make some pretty fucking nifty pew-pew guns, and they were the ones who taught the Tau how to make their own overpowered iron cannons. They will almost never be the aggressor, but if you shoot them, they will shoot you back a lot harder. However, combat between mankind and these, little men is super rare, as the Demiurge will only enter—
What is that race in Mass Effect, right? A small one? I forgot the name of that, right? But they are also the one who lives with, holy shit, I can't even remember Mass Effect that much, but I forgot the names of the races. But yeah, they live together with, what are those sea type things? Whatever. So yeah, this thing, you know, they were also like that, right? They're traders, they're rich traders or whatever, but they're not much of fighters. That is implied in the Mass Effect lore. This is kind of similar to that. So I don't know if Mass Effect took it from here, but it's just how the human imagination goes. Like if someone's short, but how are this race powerful? Or they're great at trading, they have money, but they can't fight because they're short. Maybe that's the mentality.
Space if they've been invited in. Very respectful chaps. The Imperium has time and time again teamed up with most of the other non-Tyranid or demonic races in the galaxy. The Eldar and the Imperium have worked together numerous times, even before Gilliman started destroying Yvrane's Gash. The Crawford Kaola is given an Imperial escort whenever it needs to pass through Imperial space, and Crawford Ulthwé and the Navigator House Belisarius have a close alliance with each other. Like Ulthwé once saved Belisarius from annihilation, and in return, Belisarius gave Ulthwé 7 coins. When a coin is redeemed, Belisarius must commit all of their resources and power to aid Ulthwé with whatever they need. The Harlequins have also worked with and even allowed certain Inquisitors to access the Black Library, which is probably the
So maybe 41st millennia is not so grim. Apparently everybody just worked together. So I guess it's all bullshit and propaganda, right? To keep people in line. Oh, look at that, we are constantly at war. But in the background they're just holding hands on, apparently. Because what the fuck is this? They're gonna be okay. I knew I said that, you know, they're working with Eldar, but not this level. Oh, you can have always safe passes with the Imperium.
Greatest honor that an Eldar can bestow upon another, especially since most Eldar aren't even allowed near the Black Library at all. Funnily enough, the Imperium and the Orcs have teamed up on numerous occasions. Whenever both sides are fighting and the Tyranids rock up, they'll generally work together to squash some bugs. However, often once the Nids are gone, they'll just resume their battle. In saying that though, there is an orc clan, the Blood Axes, who offer their strength as mercenaries for hire. Hence when times are tough...
Orcs are not stupid. They just want to fight and that's it. But that doesn't mean they're stupid. They're like, oh, look at the humans. They can think, we can think, we'll just fight it with just great battle, battle for the glories, and the suddenly terrorists go, oh, for fuck's sake. The bugs are here, let's exterminate them first before we do any kind of battling. I guess that's the mentality here, right? Tyranids are brainless creatures who just want to consume everything. Let's kill them first and then we can have our battle. I don't know. That's the only thing that makes sense.
It's not uncommon for the Imperium to employ orc mercenaries to get the job done. It's also implied that when the Great Rift opened and fucking ruined everything, the orcs and humans on Armageddon signed a truce so they could deal with the random fuck-huge demonic invasion that had come to ruin their fun. Maybe even more shocking is that the Imperium has worked with the Necrons a couple times. The first instance was the Blade, which was fighting alongside the Silent King to wipe out some Tyranids. However, it goes deeper. Trazyn the Infinite has unintentionally saved countless humans.
So Tyranids are such a pain in the ass that they even united Necrons and Imperium? At certain points, how the fuck? Even the Silent King, okay, I'm gonna team up with the fucking Imperium because Tyranids has to go, man.
Lives on numerous occasions. One time, the orcs attacked a human world that held a sacred Necron tomb on it that Trazyn wanted to save. So he deployed his army and he helped defeat the orcs, hence saving the humans. In return, the humans of that world...
I can't stop but imagine, you know the Lord of the Rings shit, whenever there's some battle going on, no hope, look, and then suddenly some other, ally comes in the distance with an army, and then suddenly that uplifting music starts. I'm just imagining that right now. Imperium was fighting and suddenly they see Necrons fighting together and that uplifting music starts. Oh, look at that. Look at the Necrons are actually trying to save us. No, man. They're just trying to save their own colony.
Erected a statue in his honor, as well as created stained glass windows depicting him. In a similar vein, Trazyn tried to stop the fall of Cadia by unleashing a fuckload of his Imperial Pokemon. To help mankind, he unleashed a ton of pre-heresy space marines, as well as a custodian that he had in one of his collections. He also helped Core with activating the Necron pylons, so Necron and Imperial cooperation is a big thing, even if it is extremely heretical. And yes, the Imperium has worked with the Tau. Even though the two factions are currently in a bit of a cold war at the moment, they both understand that neither of them are the true evil in the galaxy. They will happily team up whenever Tyranids are involved, and various members of the
What is the evil? Let's be fucking honest, right? Because only one race is the Imperium who sees every other race as heresy and just basically exterminate. The original plan of Emperor was that we have to save galaxy from itself. So if we rule it, we can control it, or whatever the crap goes with any dictatorial mind. Fine. At least at the core of it, the mentality was fine. When the 41st millennium, all this, entire system of Imperium is just based on Emperor, everybody else is just heresy. Clearly, every other race is fine with working with them, so they don't have any shit like that, like, oh, fuck that, humans. Your humans are heresy, let's kill them. There's nothing like that. It's the only Imperium that's thinking like that, right? If the people found out that Imperium is doing that, that aligning with everybody like that would be a problem. So they even kept that at, down low, that nobody need to, really hear about that we teamed up with Necrons or whatever. Why? Because they are the one who created this shit. This kind of a weird bullshit, like racism of that kind. So who is the enemy? Let's be honest. Okay, I get it, Tyranids. They're literally like, the movie Alien. Basically eat everything or whatever, right? But everybody else, even the orcs can understand, like, fine, we have to fight, basically Tyranids, we'll team up with Imperium. It feels like besides Tyranids, and I don't even know, Tyranids is basically, it's just like saying the lion is evil, right? Since lions want to hunt and eat. Tyranids is that. So who is actually evil? It basically Imperium, isn't it? Since everybody else can, I always assume the Craftful Eldars are just egotistical, people like how the elves are in the Lord of the Rings, and who just look down upon humans. But clearly they work fine. Necrons works fine. Even orcs works fine with Imperium. Even Tau is just like, okay, we'll work fine. So what's the problem here? Have they ever tried to do diplomacy at this point? Why is the 41st millennium so grim? Chaos, I'm sure. There is the threat of chaos, obviously. But I bet Games Workshop in the next page will basically put like, okay, because Tyranids attack, even the Chaos Marine help with Imperium. Like, what the fuck?
Some of the Tau. Sure, it might just be because of Tau propaganda, but friendships can be born out of any situation. Oh yeah, and I guess the Captain General of the Custodes fucked the ever-living shit out of Commander Shadowsun, which technically counts as working together. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be. Only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of Battle Mace 40 million hentai. Hit the subscribe button and hit the real
Yeah, there you go. Man, I love this video. Lots of things that I had no idea about. It was fun. Alright people, which Xenos does the Imperium Tolerate? Most of it basically. But the channel Major Kill. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.